Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of Girl Uninterrupted. My name is Kriti Ghai, and I'll be your host. I know everybody says this about their guests, but I truly mean it when I say that these two ladies who have joined me today for this conversation are extremely special to me because they're two of my very own best friends. So please, ladies and gentlemen, say hi to Aditi Singh and Ishita Khanna. Say hi, guys, and tell us where you are right now. What's happening? Aditi, where are you right now? What's happening?
Hi guys, so I'm in Bhubaneswar right now. I just got back to college 2 days ago from Lucknow, and I'm a second year MBBS student. So yeah, that's about me.
And where are you, Chiku, right now?
Hi guys, so I'm in Lucknow at my home right now and I have a 3 a.m. flight tomorrow morning back to my college in Delhi. I'm a fourth year law student and so the sad deal is that I cannot miss my classes because we have attendance marks and we need those to pass. So which is why I'm flying at 3 a.m. to reach my class at 9.
Yeah, so I feel like one thing that you can gather. Okay, by the way, so here, this is a funny thing. Ishita's nickname is Chiku, and there's a really funny story behind it. I named her Chiku Chudel, which I know it sounds odd, but see, the reason I named her that is because one day I heard my mama call my mommy that, and I asked him, why are you calling her that, whatever, and he told me that she's very very loud. You would simply poke her and she'd scream, and Ishita is exactly like that. So from that day onwards, I started calling her Chiku Chudel, and we call Aditi Aditi because pun intended, kabhi kabhi and always she is Aditi. So we call her Aditi. But these are my friends. We are a mad bunch when we're together. Okay, so let's talk about what we're actually here for today. Um, so, see, here's the thing, we're a trio friendship. And I feel like a decade or two above us, and a couple of decades below us, I think all of these people will understand and relate to the fact that trio friendships are heavily bashed online. I mean, everybody is hating on three people friendships online all the time, right? And I always find it funny when I read about that because, as everybody can see, one of my most successful friendships is a trio friendship. So I have a question. And although I feel like, there is a lot posted about it on mainstream media or social media, I don't think it's always discussed in depth. Why is it the way it is, or why is it not the way it is, right? So I think that's the attempt today. So here's my question to the two of you. What do you think is the biggest sort of stereotype or issue that you have read about when it comes to trio friendships online, or you've seen it? What is that one like big idea that surrounds three people friendships? And by any chance, have you ever faced such issues? Have you ever had to combat such stereotypes? I'll begin with you, Chiku. Why don't you tell us what your answer is?
So I think that, a misconception or a stereotype that surrounds like a three people friendship is that, the three people have to be very similar to each other or that, there have to be like lots of aspects to your being that are common to this trio friendship. But like, I think that's not really true because like, I personally believe that there are certain things which have to be similar and then there are certain things which have to be different as well. Like the three of us are very different people, we're like very different in different ways, and I think that's what works for us because we have, and the thing that is common to us is that we have a sense of mutual understanding, which is what works. So even though we're very different, our energies kind of match and our frequencies match, which is what works. And then I think another stereotype is that, you have to know each other the same amount. Like, for example, I've known Aditi longer than I've known Kriti, and Aditi and I were good friends when Kriti walked in. So I don't think that's like a biggest, that is one of the misconceptions that surrounds like a trio friendship, because even though Aditi and I were friends before and Kriti, we became friends with Kriti much later, like we've worked.
No, of course, you're very right. And so basically, I mean, from what I understand, what you're saying, and I mean, I've seen it, I've witnessed what you're talking about. You haven't faced that stereotype that people are always talking about. And yeah, you're very right when we talk about this because, when you say, like, I always knew, and it's a fact that nobody has to ever make me realize I've always known this, I always agree to this. You and Aditi have known each other longer, but, it's never been a burden to me the fact that the two of you know each other for longer has never been a burden to me. So that's, I believe, your take on it. Now, Aditi, I'm going to ask you the same question. What do you think is the biggest stereotype surrounding three people friendships? And have you ever faced any kind of issues with the three people friendship?
So I think we've heard this over social media, and I've personally seen this in life also. That many a times we've seen in a three people friendship, two people are grouped together a couple of times, the third one is left behind. In most scenarios, we've seen this happen. I have seen this happen, but I just feel at the end of the day, it's the effort that three individual people really want to put in to maintain a friendship. And so the groupism that happens, it's only when somebody isn't willing to put an effort, somebody isn't willing to wanting to make this work. But I just feel if you want to make this work, if you want to sustain a friendship, it will happen. Like we've done it, and I don't think we've ever faced that problem of groupism, two people grouping against the third person. So it's, at the end, it's just about putting your energy and effort if, in something you really want. So yeah.
Very true. But you have faced this issue in the past. Is that what you're saying with other
No,
friendships?
I personally haven't, but I've seen a lot of three people friendships that have gone through this phase. I have.
Okay, so you personally haven't gone through it, but like you've observed parallels where other people have gone through these
Yes,
issues,
I
right?
have. Yeah, I have.
So here's my take. I feel like one, I think my answer is very similar to Aditi's, but I think my take might be slightly different because see, here's the thing, like Aditi spoke about it. There's this idea of groupism, right? There's this idea that two people become closer and one person is left out. And I would love to say it's a stereotype that isn't true, but I faced it. I have been a part of a three people friendship in the past. So I've been a part of a three people friendship where I think I faced exactly this issue where two of the people in the group of three um, just made me an easy target. Here's the thing, I got to know months later that they were saying things about me behind my back to each other, but even before I got the confirmation, for months, I just had this gut feeling that it was happening. Even without the confirmation, I just had this gut feeling that I knew that these two people, because when it's three people, it's not that tough to figure it out. And I had this gut feeling that they are talking about me behind my back, and I'm getting this feeling that this is really not working out. So I have faced that stereotype. So yeah, this is a big, I feel like, stereotype that exists that I've personally faced. So I think collectively speaking, amongst the three of us, the two of you have more so observed these issues in others, but you haven't faced them personally. I, on the other hand, have observed them and faced them very closely. um Okay, so then I have a very interesting thing to bring up. I mean, like, I just feel like if you think about it, we all admit, somewhere deep down, we all admit that even though we have not faced a lot of these stereotypes personally, they do exist and they exist for a very good reason, right? Would you agree with me? Just say a yes or no. Right. So even if we may not face it, these issues exist. So what do you think makes the three of us different? How come, we've never touched wood, knocking on wood, but how come we've never faced any of these stereotypes that exist three people friendships? Like, what do you think makes us different? I want to begin by asking Aditi that. What do you think makes us different, Aditi?
Uh, I just feel we're very easygoing people, and we've just been very vocal about anything that happens, everything that's happening. So there's never been a barrier, or and why this happens is because there's no communication between people, which is why these things build up. So I just think we've always been we've openly communicated with each other with everything about anything and everything. So I think that's why we've never had these problems.
I agree. I definitely agree. What about you, Chiku? What do you think is that one factor or multiple factors that has sort of helped protect us from these issues?
So I believe like most interesting part about us is the fact that I found the two of you in my last year of school life, like 14 years in the same school, and the friends who've actually stuck are the ones I found in the 14th year of my school life. And so the thing that I believe has worked for us is like a lot of people say quantity matters, and the time you spend with each other matters. But as they say, quality always overweighs quantity, right? And so the thing about the three of us is that we bring out the best in each other. Our energies complement each other. Even though we're very different people, our energies match, our frequencies match. And so we just flourish and thrive in each other's energies. So that, I believe, is like what does the magic.
If I had to pin it down, I think my answer is very similar to Aditi's. I think one thing that has very honestly worked for us is honest and open communication. Even if I go and talk about my issues with Ishita, like I'm having issues with Aditi and I talk to Ishita about it, Ishita will never revert to me and be like, yeah, you're so right and she's so wrong and you should. She will always be like, I understand what you're feeling, but I think the two of you need to talk directly. And this is just an example of what any three of us would do for each other. So I feel like this is what exactly makes us different. What I'm about to ask you next may seem similar to what we just spoke about, but there's a fine difference. What we just spoke about was how we as a trio work instead of a lot of other trios that may not work, and how we don't face a lot of the stereotypes that we have faced in the past, etc., etc. You just heard the whole thing. Don't make me sum it up for you. What I'm asking you right now is that when you've seen failed friendships in your past and in your present, you see, hopefully this is a successful friendship that you see. What do you think, Aditi? What do you think that has been for you?
I just think from all the friendships, relationships I've had in the past, what I've learned that what's going to work best for me is being transparent about what I feel and what I think, and just being vocal about it. So I don't have to keep that inside of me, and it just, as we all know, it just gets uh, building on if you keep it inside of you. So I just think, so I just think, I should just let it out and be transparent with the person I'm having a problem with. So yeah, I think that works best for me.
Okay, Aditi Singh is the world's number one liar. She doesn't do this. She doesn't
I
share her true
agree.
opinion.
But this is
You
something I
and
plan on
me,
practicing.
She will implement it.
yes. So you
I will,
practice.
I will.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, you better liar.
But I'm working on
Anyway,
that.
I'll excuse. I'll excuse her. I'm just being mean. What about you, Chiku?
I personally feel that, like, in any friendship, you should never have too many expectations, or there should not be like too much pressure on each other. Like, for example, the three of us, we're all living in different cities. We meet what, once a year, sometimes like not even that. The best thing about us is that we still have that sense of understanding and that comfort with each other, no matter like how much time it has been since we last met. So I believe that any, and that holds true for any relationship for that matter. Like, unnecessary undue expectations and pressure, like no relationship survives that. And another thing that I feel and that I've observed in a lot of friendships is that, competition gets in the way. You just get over competitive with each other, and that always, uh, and that never works really. So, yeah.
She very conveniently just stole my answer. Anyway, I agree with you, Chiku. No, but no, I'm kidding again. I'm kidding. Um, I think I agree with both of you. I think, but I think my takeaway is a little different. See, even after finding the two of you, and I never thought that I would find anybody else. I thought, I found two people. That's two more than me. And that's all. That's all that's written for me. And then I was really blessed. I know this sounds extremely cheesy and it disgusts me to have to say this to your faces. And I know because the other three will be watching, but I think I was blessed enough to find three more girls, Anishka, Tanvi, Pankhuri, who, I mean, listen, I didn't expect to find anybody after the two of you. I'm being very honest because I became friends with them after school ended. Like we became close after school ended. Throughout school, you two have been my rock. You two have been my everything. So I never really thought that I could find something that felt even similar. And obviously, like I said, I've been blessed. But I think this friendship that we have right now, and then the friendship I have with these three girls, different, I think in different places and time they have taught me a lot, and they've changed me a lot. Okay, so this got really serious and emotional. Now we're gonna play a quick round of who's most likely to. And as soon as give the prompt, just say who you think is most likely to do that. One, two, three. The first who's most likely to. Who's most likely to piss or shit their pants and blame it on the pants? I'm gonna say
Kriti
Aditi.
Ghai.
Kriti.
Kriti,
Kriti
Kriti,
Ghai.
Why?
Kriti.
Kriti.
That has to
I
be
think
Kriti
so, you
Ghai.
will.
Why?
Because, I mean, everybody knows for me. You literally
Keep quiet.
fall in.
I'm in trouble.
Okay.
Quiet.
Okay.
Okay, the next one. Who's most likely to be late to her own wedding? I can't choose between Ishita or Aditi on this because they're always late.
It's gotta be Ishita. It's gotta be Ishita. No, it's not me. I'm always
I
on
don't think so.
time.
In your head, you are, na? But in your head, the time is 1 hour
Ishita,
after the others.
you remember the time we had to go to Chungfa? I waited outside her house for 20 minutes.
But still, both of you, actually, you know what?
I
Let's
think
let it
both
be.
of us will be late only.
Yeah, both of us
Yeah,
will be
And
late.
I think because Kriti is going to be our bridesmaid, so she'll unfortunately be late with us.
no, I'll be early, like at your birthday dinner. I'll be early and I'll have to tell the husband, be like, aa rahi hai, bhag nahi gayi
I
hai,
mean,
don't take tension. Who's most likely to order takeout when they already have leftovers in the fridge? Aditi.
Aditi.
Aditi
Yeah, yeah.
Singh.
Yeah.
Aditi Singh is
Because
the
she needs to
reason
look
why
at food.
Swiggy
Yeah.
Aditi is the sole reason why Swiggy and Zomato are so successful in Lucknow. She
Yeah.
It's
even
not
like just go
true.
and
Yeah, and then she won't eat the food. She just look at it, have one bite, and yeah, that's it.
no.
And so she'll
Aditi
keep
is
on
not
ordering
the
different things.
no, like Chico, how people are visual learners, spatial learners. Aditi is a visual eater. Who's most likely to die first in a zombie apocalypse and who's most likely to survive the longest? And I know. Die first, Aditi. Survive the
Yeah.
Die first,
longest, Ishita.
Aditi. No, no, I don't
Survive the
think. Bro,
longest,
I'm.
Ishita. For
You don't know me, then I will die first.
sure.
I
No,
think
no, no,
all
no, no,
three
for
of us
sure.
will die first. I don't think any of us can survive.
Yeah, I don't think any of us can survive a zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse.
No,
that's
I'm
what.
like, see, anyway, I'm like a fat kid. So I feel like I'll run and I'll run and I'll run, but then I'll just be like, "Ha, lo, kya karna? It's your time to take over."
So I mean,
Chalta
it's
hai.
fight or flight, na? I mean, you can hide also.
So see, three
Kya
of us
kar
are gonna
sakte hain?
die.
I
Yeah,
believe in the universe.
definitely. All yeah.
Yeah, but I'd still think the longest would amongst the three of us would be Ishita. Thank you so much, Ishita and Aditi, for joining me today. This was a lot of fun. I had a great time, and I think the people who end up listening to it will also have a great time. Any last thoughts, views, or are you just more than happy to leave?
I just want to say thank you for having us. We had a
Yeah.
very good time shooting this, and I hope everybody who's watching this enjoys this too as much as we did.
Yeah, thank you,
Well,
Kriti, for having us. I think this is like a great way for us to spend time together after so long, and this was so therapeutic as well. So, yeah, thank you, Kriti. We love you.
We love you.
I had a great time. Thank you so much for being here, guys. And that brings us to the end of the episode. If you like this, please subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify, please make sure to keep looking forward to the upcoming episodes. Like the video, leave a comment. You know what to do. I don't need to tell you. Bye.
Bye
Say bye,
Bye.
bye.
guys.